So hi, my name is Jose Lucas. I study English and I decided to start to record some videos to register my improvement and my progress in my studies. So this is my first video and I'll try to explain um, how did I do to learn English and to get that level that I am now. So I started to study English alone by myself in 2020, and I started to study with a YouTube channel. The teacher called William Haas, and I really like his teaching, and I think he's a good professor, and the way that he teaches helped me a lot to learn. So I start to just learn the basic structure and the grammar, the basic grammar, the language, and I registrate the most part in notebook right here. Let me see if I can. Here in this book, I have all my progress, and I didn't write down the data that I start, but you can see I think I 2019 2020. So this is the date my first class, and I study here. I write down everything that I learned from him, and when I when I learned the base structure and the base grammar, I start to formate my first phrases, the daily phrases, and the things that we use the most in the day. For example, um, the house vocabulary, the words that we use during the day. And at the time, I just was reading the phrases and try to listen the teacher um, speaking and try to learn the pronunciation. And when I start to get better, when I start to be able to speak better the phrases, I start to note a lot of phrases in English and read every day that phrases and try to also formate my own phrases. And every time when I try to describe the things during my day. For example, if I try to say a phrase that I don't know a word in that phrase, for example, this thing, for example, I don't know. Um, um, by the way, I don't know how to say this. This is I don't know how to say this in English, but I search for the word, I look up for the word and how to say phrases. For example, one phrase, for example, it wouldn't have time. How did I did how did I say these phrases? So I look up for these phrases, and so when I was being able to speak a little better, I started to watching native English teachers from YouTube, and they just speak in English the whole video. So that was very good to help me to improve my listening, and I made this for a long time. Just listen the phrases, the, the whole classes, and try to imitate the professor, the teacher. So I did this for a long time, and after that, I found a channel called Top Thinking, and they make videos about the daily a lot of things, like for example, 10 tips to become intelligent, or 5 ways to improve your sleep, or things like this, themes and subjects about the life, the whole life. And this channel also helped me a lot to improve my listening, and I keep write down phrases and words and try to speak But at the time, till that time, I didn't had realized that I was speaking too little, and that was very important to learn. Speak, I was just reading and listening a lot of things. I also spoke, but too less than I should. So I realized that when I start to speak a lot, more than usual, I improve a lot my English because I was listening a lot. But one day I'll try to have a conversation with a man from, I don't know, I think he was from Africa or Asia. I don't remember, and I also don't remember the application that I was using. But I realized that although I still every day listen and reading, I wasn't able to speak as I thought that I was able. So I start to speak more every day, and the most problem that I faced at that moment is uh, I didn't know what to say because I didn't have a subject, I didn't have a partners to speak with me, and I was aware that I can just speak by myself alone, and I didn't need a partner to speak with me. As I doing right now, I just speaking. I don't need a people. I don't need a person to have a conversation with me. But I didn't know the subject to talk. For example, if I describe my day, I don't do a lot of different things in the day. So I I was every day speak the same thing. Or if I have tell to tell stories about my life, and that wasn't working. So one day I I found a website, and there was little text there, and I start to read the text, and I start to write down the words, and I start to formate phrases with these words that I didn't know, all the phrases that I know but I don't know how to pronounce it very well, all the words that I know the word, I know the meaning, I know how to pronounce the word correctly, but I didn't use a lot that word, or I think that word is very important to practice, so I write all the words and I try to um, formate phrases with that word during the day, and that's helped me a lot. I think this is the method that mostly the most um, work for me because I improve a lot since I started to do this. And this is the method that I use nowadays. I write all the phrases, I write all the words and the expressions that I want to practice, and I try to formate phrases and with this with these words, and also listen a lot. I listen during the work. Um, when I working, I use phone because I can't use phone at work. That headphone, and I listen while doing something that is not dangerous, and I can listen to videos, and that's the way that I achieve the level that I am now. Um, I never have a particular professor, a particular teacher. I never take particular class. I never have speaker partners. I get so far just studying and projects by myself and trying to do a lot of things. Um, it's been 4 years now, and during this period, I make a lot of mistake. Sometimes I take some breaks and just start to study again. But for this whole time, I try to become fluent. I try to practice more, and I also read a lot of manga from Japanese. Um, and manga is very well, is very good to improve because you read um, you can read the conversation, the conversation that they are having right that moment. Is not someone telling a story, is the characters have the conversation. And this is very good to improve because you can have a better notion of a conversation. And I use a lot of methods, and I don't know if I explain and I remember the all the methods that I use, but um, I think this is um, I think I tell very well. I tell very well my basic journey learning English. And right now, at the moment, nowadays, I just keep practicing and trying to improve a lot my English. One day, someday I hope that I become fluent and I be able to go to some country that have English as the native language and be able to speak with the native speakers. I also watch a lot of native speakers English from YouTube, teachers, native English teachers from YouTube, like for example Arianita, La Gringa, and English with Kyla and Katarina, and a lot of others teachers, Bobby the Canadian, and these channels I try to observe his content and improving in the way that the, and follow the level that I face at that moment. And I think that's all. This video has 12 minutes, and I think that's all. I finished this video. Um, I pretend to put this video on YouTube, and I pretend to record more videos to register my improvement and my progress in English. And also pretend talk about other things in my life, for example my hobbies and guitar and acoustic guitar, also about my studies in IT. I study IT. I'm graduated in analysis and develop of system, and I pretend make a video talk about my studies, about my hobbies, and a lot of subjects, maybe about my actual my accurate job. Maybe someday some company. My dog is barking. It's my dog barking to the people at the street. Uh, Maybe some company can watch this video to have a notion how I speak. I think this is not a formal video. I just trying to be myself, and I didn't make a script. I just talking by my head. And but I think that make a formal video to a company is good, is important. But I think it's good a company watches some authentic videos from from their employees. And this is just a simple video. I didn't have a script. I didn't make a script or prepare this video before. I just get the camera open and start to speak and start to tell my history and my journey with the English. So I enjoy making this video. I try to up this video to YouTube, and I think that's all. Bye. Thank you for your time, and till the next time.